following is a special presentation of Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims, alternating the reality of sports and entertainment since 2020. How's it going, everybody? Big Pauly coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, the 12th of April, 2022 at 4:54 p.m. United States Eastern Daylight Time, a day that has been marred by the passing of Gilbert Gottfried, great comedian, and the shooting that took place at the subway station in Brooklyn, which we're still trying to find details about as the day progresses. So let's play a little football and try to liven up the spirits a little bit. I have my color commentator Ellie with me, and we have Chicago at 11-3 battling Cincinnati at 9-5. 34 degrees at Soldier Field in Chicago. I will play as the Bears. We had them on Friday beating the ever-loving Stew out of Indianapolis 34-7. Let's get started. Carson Palmer against Sid Luckman. Chicago trying to clinch a playoff spot with the win. As 16th place right now in the HTFL playoffs would be 7-7. So very likely Cincinnati won the toss, will receive. They are in the white squares with the very faint orange numerals and letters, and Chicago in dark. Watson, Jones, and Brooks back deep for Cincinnati. And it's going to be taken by Brooks at the goal line. He chugs it up to the 36. The return will also be 36 yards. So we got an early bird special for you, as I'll try to get this game in before the Rays play at 6:40 Eastern time. They got mauled by the A's last night, 13-2. The Rays lost their starting pitcher, Louis Patino, to back trouble. And the man who they brought in was just there to pitch some innings. And he wound up going into the fourth, but he gave up a whole bunch of runs. And they brought in Brett Phillips in again to pitch a little bit. But you didn't come to hear me talk about all of that. No. Let's go to the offensive lineup. It's Dillon and Fenner in at running back. Hujman, Zada, and Green in the base formation are your two wide receivers. Ross is the tight end. Palmer is the quarterback out of USC. You got Munoz, who is a 10-plus left tackle. Steinbach, Johnson, Montoya, and Anderson, who was a 9. So they're bookend well on the Cincinnati offensive line. We'll see what Carson Palmer can do. Well, we have a marker.
False start. Offense, number 3, 5-yard penalty. Repeat.
So they get Carson Palmer right away on a head fake. So back Cincinnati 5 to the 31. Make it 1st and 15. And Palmer, it's a give to number 34, which is Fenner, a gain of 9. Make it 2nd and 6. Ball at the 40. Just wanted to get the game in a little early with all the sad news today. Atkins making the tackle on Corey Dillon, a gain of 5, and that's going to set up 3rd and a yard. With 13:54 left. Passing the flat. That is Corey Dillon. And that's another gain of 9 yards. Gary Fensick making the tackle for Chicago. I haven't done their defense yet. Let's do that now. Atkins, Dent, Hampton, and Chambers are your front four. Fortunato, Urlacher, Marshall, your linebackers. Night Train Lane is one of the corners, as is Tillman. Carrier and Fensick, your safeties. Remember that Night Train Lane played at one point for the Chicago Cardinals, so he's part of Chicago. Gain of 4 there for Fenner, and that's going to set up a 2nd and 6. Okay, that's why I had my notepad open. Here we go. Palmer to Dillon, and Dillon goes over 1,000 yards. I'm not going to, it's a 63% chance I get the challenge, but I'm not going to play it yet. Corey Dillon at 1,003 on his 225th carry this season. First and 10 at the Chicago 36. North Division battle. Cincinnati seems to be heading to the playoffs on the path they are on. They are 9-5. A win here would be big. Gain of 9 as Palmer threw that to Corey Dillon, and that's where he threw the first pass. He's 2 for 2, 18 yards. Second and a yard at the 27. Throw and a touchdown to A.J. Green. And Cincinnati has gotten off to a good start, telling the Bears, hey, we're not the pushovers like the Colts. 6-0. And your point after, good by Graham. And it is 7-0 with 10-12 left, opening quarter. Sayers, a very credible return man, back deep. And that's a touchback. Chicago going into the win for quarters 1 and 4. But the wind is minimal, 0 to 5 mile per hour. For Chicago, we have Peyton, Kelliger, Hill. In fact, let me just get into a base formation before I go double tight end. Hill and Graham are your wide receivers. Ditka, the tight end. They bring in Duel when they go double tight. Luckman is the quarterback out of Columbia. Columbia in New York, not Columbia, the country, which I think Luckman was. Connor, Fortman, Bulldog Turner, Ramsey, and Covert, your offensive line. Turner is a 10, and he wears number 66. You see him there. And we're going to go inside with sweetness, Walter Payton. And that is a pickup of 3 yards. Defensively for Chicago, it's Dunlap, Smith, Atkins, and Reed. The linebackers are Spikes, Berge, Francis. Francis is a 7. Parrish a 9, Riley a 9, Casanova is an 8, and Nelson an 8. So not a great defense for Cincinnati. But we'll see if they can hold their own here against the Bears, who trail now 7-0. Back to Peyton, sweep left. He gets tired. We still got Gale Sayers, and Gale Sayers is also a pretty decent runner. 4-yard gain for Walter Payton, and it's going to be 3rd and 3. They'll go 3 wide, which brings Conway in. In fact, we're going to go to him on the short crossing route. Ambrose coming in as an extra DB, and Conway with the catch. Against Indianapolis last week, most accurate, 12 of 17 for 270. And it's 1st and 10 right now for the Bears at the 40. And sweep left Walter Payton on 1st and 10. Watched a whole bunch of Danhausen blogs today. I know Al Red Sox fan will be pleased about that. Gain of a yard. Berge on the stop. Very interesting character. 2nd and 9 at the 41. He's a character who could probably evolve beyond wrestling. 2nd and 9. The ball at the 41. We're going to stick with the running game. We're going to go outside. We're going to go to Peyton. We're going to get Peyton a lot of carries today. 8 in the box for Cincinnati. That's a gain of 5. Francis on the tackle. 3rd and 4. And we're going to go Hill. Short hitch. Harlan Hill. And that is incomplete. Overthrew Hill there. So Luckman starts 1 for 2. And Ed Brown in to punt. And Brown punting it to, I believe that is Jones. Gain of 8 for Jones. Punt went 40, so the net will be 32 yards. 6:24 left first quarter, and the Bengals up to a 7-0 lead. Could spoil Chicago's party. With a win, the Bears will clinch a playoff spot. Second game of week 15 here. 1st and 10 from the 22. We have a marker.
Holding. Offense. Number 78. 10-yard penalty.
They get Munoz for holding. We will accept that and make it 1st and 20 from the 12. 6:18 to go. and that's a gain of 4. So I was listening to the Rays game last night. By the way, if you are a local yokel, you can catch the Rays games on iHeartRadio. Just go to WDAE, 2nd and 16 at the 16, because the radio coverage at night is still pretty bad. So I fell asleep listening to the Rays game last night because it's the only way I could keep touch with the Rays because I don't have cable. 2nd and 16 at the 16. I do have Wi-Fi though, and that was Carrier deflecting and McRae getting all up in the business of the receiver, who is unnamed here, and it's going to be 3rd and 16 at the 16. And I forgot to turn the app off, so I was my cat Ellie, who always goes to bed with me, literally, listened to a whole bunch of talk radio, and by about 12:30, 1 o'clock, I woke up and I turned it off. 4th and 16 at the 16, and it's punting time. And McAfee gets the punt, returns it 5. The punt went 51. It was Pat McAnally, who is credited by John Madden, the late great John Madden, the coined the phrase "one knee equals 2 feet." Off tackle right, Bill Kelliger. And Kelliger will pick up 4. Reed on the stop for Cincinnati. 5 minutes exactly now left in the opening quarter. And we're going to go Walter Payton's way. 2nd and 6. And they're holding Payton in check. Gain of 2 there. Only 5 carries for 15 yards. 3rd and 4 will go to Ditka on the hitch. In the 3 wide set. It threw Ditka there. And it might have been caught by Ditka. We'll challenge, even though the odds don't favor it.
The ruling on the field stands.
Of course it does.
A timeout will be charged.
Just getting a little desperate there, and we lose a timeout, and we lose our challenge privileges for the remainder of the game. Ed Brown, the punt for the Bears. And this is Jones again, and Jones, a 10-yard return after a 37-yard punt by Brown. So Cincinnati with the ball back. They scored on their first possession. This is possession number 3 here, 1st and 10 from the 29. 3:25 left, and this is Dillon, and Dillon, no gain. Fenzik jogging off. He'll be out a few plays. He is the free safety. So entering the game, Marshall Goldberg, and he wears number 99. And the cries of Goldberg, Goldberg, hit the Soldier Field. 2nd and 10 at the 29. Wonder where they got that from. Gain of 12 to Hujman Sada. Tillman on the tackle. It's 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. 3:07 left. And Palmer in trouble. He is going to be sacked. Snap was fumbled. Marshall picked it up. And he got both mitts on the football, so it's Chicago ball with 2:26 left. And the ball at the 36. Play action bomb to Hill. And that is incomplete. Hill clamoring at the officials for an interference call, making hanky-waving gestures, but the officials keep their hankies in their pockets. Pitch right, Walter Payton. And Payton again held to 3 yards on that one. Smith on the tackle for Cincinnati, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 7. And we will look to Harlan Hill on a medium crossing route. With Luckman, your quarterback, these medium passes are worth the time and effort. Dunlop swatted the pass down from Luckman. They pick up the flag, possible pass interference, but they say no pass interference was called. So only a 41% chance that Gould could hit a field goal from here. So we'll just try to pin him deep with Ed Brown. Ball to 33. And it goes through the end zone. Touchback. 1:16 left in the opening quarter. And your score is still 7-0 in favor of Cincinnati. 1st and 10 from the 20. completed the Hujmansada.
Defense. Number 81, 5-yard penalty.
They will decline the penalty. Ugh. And it'll be 2nd and 1 instead of 1st and 5. Interesting call there. 1:08 left in the quarter. And they go to Fenner. Fenner is short of the first down by a few inches. So now it's 3rd and inches. If they had taken the penalty, it'd be 2nd down. Corey Dillon will get the first down. He picks up a yard. That'll do it for our opening quarter. And your score right now is Cincinnati 7 and the Bears nothing. And I will come back on camera, tell you all that Cincinnati had 16 plays. They had 91 yards. And the Bears had 12 plays, 35 yards. 7 of Chicago's plays were runs. And 16 plays for Cincinnati. 9 of the Cincinnati plays were runs. So it's been a very runny first quarter. 34 degrees in Chicago, 1st and 10 at the 31. And now Chicago with the wind advantage, by the way. That is Dillon picking up another 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5 at the 36. 14:48 left. Quick throw and a completion to Fenner there. That's a gain of 7. So Cincinnati doing all the little things to keep the Bears off balance. 1st and 10 at the 43. And that is a gain of a yard for Corey Dillon. On the season, you see him there out of Washington. Went over 1,000 yards earlier. He came into the game 35 catches for 330 yards, I beg your pardon. And he's had 2 today to get to 37 on the season. 2nd and 9 at the 44. I don't think he's a threat to get 100. And that is a throw to Corey Dillon out of Washington. 3rd and 5 now after that gain of 4. As Ellie gets in front of me here, just trying to keep her from stepping on the keyboard. Oh, Lord. And that is a catch for Ross, a gain of 8 yards. 1st and 10 now at the Chicago 44-yard line. Hope you all are doing well. And Palmer going a little deep there for Green, but it was tipped by Night Train Lane. 2nd and 10 at the 44. Another quick throw. This time Ross is found. A gain of 13 yards. Carrier on the tackle for the Bears. 1st and 10 at the 31. So Cincinnati really punching this Bear defense in the mouth as Palmer was trying to get the Hoosiers out of there, tipped by Tillman. They've gained 129 yards so far in this game when Chicago has only gained 35. 2nd and 10 from the 31. And incompletion.
Offense. Number 65, 10-yard penalty.
We'll take that. It's going to be 2nd and 20 from the 41 now. Palmer throwing, and that is to Ross, gaining 7. Palmer, 10 for 14, 105 yards. 3rd, 13 at the 34. And that is to Corey Dillon picking up 4 yards. 9 shy of the first. So they will bring on a field goal kicker. I think this is Shane Graham. He'll try from 47. And it's good. 2-score game now for the Bengals. They lead 10-0. 8:46 left in the opening half. That was a 14-play, 50-yard drive, taking almost half a quarter, 7 minutes, 25 seconds. We'll go to Sayers. I hope he has something here. And that is a gain of 26 to the 27. Other news going on today, I was reading that Kmart is now down to their last 3 stores. When I was a kid, Kmart down here in Florida used to be a staple to go to. Trap left Walter Payton, 1st and 10 from the 27, and Payton on the loose, and that's what the Bears need. A 15-yard gain. He ran for 147 last week against the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to take a brief pause for a moment to sneeze. Thank you. And it is 1st and 10 at the 42. We'll go Kelliger on a dive. Try to spread the wealth around, and Kelliger muscles ahead 2 yards. Casanova making the tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals. 2nd and 8 will go Conway on the slant. I hope he's open. He is open. That's a gain of 13. So that's only the second completion for Sig Luckman today. 2 for 26, 2 for 6 for 26. That's what I was trying to say. We'll go back to Kelliger, trap right. And Kelliger with a 6-yard gain there. Francis making the stop. Trying to see if they would key in on Peyton. We'll go Peyton's way, trap left. And Peyton gets the first down. So now Chicago moving at the Cincinnati 33. We're down to 5:44 left in the half. We'll go Conway on a medium slant. But Luckman will run, and he'll gain 2. Tikio spikes on the tackle for Cincinnati. 5 minutes now exactly left in the half. Screen to Peyton, who has not caught a pass yet. Well, he has now. And he gets 6 more yards, so they're 2 shy of the first. And we'll go play action medium pass to Harlan Hill here. And that is caught by Graham instead. Gain of 12 and a first down. Ball at the 13. And we will go Peyton, off tackle right side. And Peyton, a gain of 6. He's getting warmed up. 9 carries and 43 yards. We'll go Kelliger on the dive on 2nd and 4. And Kelliger will score. Touchdown, Bears. 7 yards out. And we have a ball game again. It's 10-6, about to be 10-7. And we had the 2-minute warning occur on the scoring sequence. Hello, Al Red Sox fan. Listening on my way home from work. Hope all is well. It's going well today. Some sad news about Gilbert Gottfried and the subway shooting in Brooklyn. It was kind of a sad day. So I thought I'd get on here and cheer people up. Your score right now, 10-7, 154 left to go in the half. Watson, Jones, and Brooks back deep. And it's a touchback. 1st and 10 Cincinnati at their own 20. Chicago can make the playoffs with the win, which is far from certain at this point in the game. 7-yard gain for Fenner. And Chicago's not going to call timeout, thinking Cincinnati will, and they do. So they have 2 timeouts left. The Bears with 2. 2nd and 3 at the 27. And that is Green with the catch. Gain of 5. And again, I'm thinking the Cincinnati will call time. They do with 1 left now, 1 timeout. 1st and 10 at the 32. And this is Corey Dillon, a gain of 5. And the Cincinnati burned their last time out. They do. 2nd and 5 from the 37, a minute 28 to go. And this is Fenner picking up 7. I'm not going to call timeout. I'm going to let Cincinnati drown their own clock out. 1st and 10 at the 44. Palmer complete. And it's Ross who was flirting with the sideline, and he got out of bounds. An 8-yard gain to make it 2nd and 2 at the 48. And this is caught by Hujmanzada, a gain of 18. So Cincinnati very effectively using the sidelines on this drive. 38 seconds to go, 1st and 10 at the 30. And that is Fenner. He dives out at the 26, a pickup of 4. Palmer is red hot right now. He is 16 for 20, 151 yards, 1 touchdown. Luckman, not so much, 4 of 8 for 44. 2nd and 6 at the 26. And the deep ball from Palmer, incomplete, and that looks like, you guessed it. And that's Lane, Night Train Lane, and they just gave the Bengals a nice little gift here. First and goal at the 1, and Cincinnati's going to kick, actually. With 25 seconds to go, I guess they'd rather be safe than sorry. And your point after, not your point after, but your field goal by Graham, only from 18 yards out, that's less than a modern extra point, is good. And your score right now is 13-7 with 20 seconds to go. We saw Sayers return one against Cleveland a few weeks back, and he returned that 33 yards to the 38 with 13 seconds left. We're just going to go medium pass to Hill. And we have 2 timeouts left. We probably won't have time to use them both. And Hill with the grab, 22 yards. They have 2 seconds left. And let's see, a 57-yard try would probably be out of the reach of the kicker, Gould. So I'm thinking we got to chuck one up here. We're going to go 5 wide, which brings in Conaway, Galt, and Kutner. And we're going to go specials, and we're going to go Hail Mary. Hill being the obvious choice, I'm going to go to the second option, which is Galt. Cincinnati playing a 3-1 corner. Ioka, Ambrose, Breeden in. And there's the pass. It's batted at the line, and that, friends, is your first half. Chicago gets the ball to start the second half, but right now your score is Cincinnati 13 and Chicago 7. And we're going to have 45 seconds worth of commercials, and then we'll be right back. You're watching the Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims YouTube channel, live and in color. If you like the video you're watching, feel free to use the Amazon link provided. I'll put it in the description down below. Thank you, Pauly. It's 13-7, Cincinnati leading as we start the second half of play. Cincinnati 33 plays, 194 yards behind a red-hot Carson Palmer, who's 16 for 20 of those 33 plays being passes. Chicago, 24 plays, 130 yards, 14 of them have been rushes. And Sayers, again back deep for the Bears, takes it at about the 4. Let's see how far he can go. That's a gain of 27. They'll rule he was at the 5 when he caught it. So that is 27 yards for Sayers. First and 10 at the 32. And we're going to go Peyton up the middle just to get him going a little bit. Marker before the play.
Number 66, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
They get Bulldog Turner for a false start. So it's going to be first and 15 at the 27. And we'll go Conway on the hitch. Incomplete, overthrew Conway there. How about a screen to Peyton on second and 15? And Peyton could not hold on to that. Interesting. Back to the 3 wide set. We'll go to Graham here, third and 15. And that is a catch, and that is a first down. Gain of 21 yards. First and 10, and Chicago goes double tight end, which brings in Duel as the extra TE. Trap right, Kelliger. And Kelliger stood up behind the line by Smith. Justin Smith out of Missouri. The Missouri Tigers, back when they played in the Big 12. Second and 11. Of course, they now play in the SEC. How about a slant to Ditka on second and 11? Oh, well, marker before that.
False start. Offense, Number 74, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
They get covert for the false start. So it's 2nd and 16. We're going to go screen to Peyton. And again, he could not link up with Peyton there. An incomplete pass. So now it is Luckman at 6 of 14. He is struggling today. And we're going to go medium pass to Harlan Hill. Forte comes in as the single back in the 4 wide set. And that is a pick. Oh, Takeo Spikes with his 4th pick of the year. Couldn't come at a better time for Cincinnati, who lead right now 13-7, and they're pretty much in field goal range already. 1st and 10 at the 32. Cincinnati catching the breaks so far in this game. And that was a pass intended for Ross, incomplete. Carrier could not get the interception. 2nd and 10 at the 32. And that's going to be A.J. Green, who goes all the way 32 yards. And look at this. Cincinnati is now up 19-7. Graham with the point after. It's good. 20-7 is your score, so the Bears are going to have to get busy here. Sayers back deep. Maybe a yard deep in the end zone, but no. They're going to say he caught it at the goal line. LeClaire making the tackle, a gain of 21. Score 20-7. Right now, the Bears are just going to stick to the game plan. Off tackle right, Peyton. Cincinnati playing off a little bit. They weren't trying to jam the box with 8. And that is Francis making the stop at the 25 after a 4-yard pickup. We'll go back to Peyton on a pitch right. Oh, another marker.
Encroachment, defense. Number 66, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
And the Chicago coaching staff saying it's about time that one goes our way. So it's 2nd and a yard. And we're going to go play action La Bamba to Hill. And Luckman will run. He got the first down. Ramsey hurt, but will stay in. Ramsey is the right guard for Chicago. 1st and 10 at the 31. We're going to run it on the inside with Peyton. Now Cincinnati going back to 8 in the box. That's a gain of 4. They were keying on Peyton, but Peyton's still picking up 4 yards. Kelliger trapped right on 2nd and 6. And Kelliger will get the first to gain of 7. They don't go to Kelliger all that much, but when they do, they find success. 6 carries and 25 yards. He had a touchdown run earlier in the game. The only Chicago touchdown to this point. 1st and 10 at the 42. We're going to run Peyton outside. Hoping this pays dividends later in the game, and Peyton will pick up 2. Francis on the stop. For the Bengals, it is 2nd and 8. Of course, Chicago in a duel for the Northern Division lead with Cleveland. And Cleveland needs, if they are tied, Chicago and Cleveland, Chicago will get the higher position based on a head-to-head sweep. We'll go Harlan Hill on a cross on 2nd and 8. Instead, it's dumped to Ditka. Ditka gets the first down, not by much. And it's 1st and 10 at the Cincinnati 48. 7th play of the drive upcoming. Trap left, Walter Payton. And Payton will pick up 4. 2nd and 6 at the 44. And we'll pitch to Payton again because we got Sayers right behind him. And Payton this time losing 4 yards. And the crowd at Chicago cannot believe it. You hear their cries of displeasure. We'll go Ditka on the cross. 3rd and 10 at the Cincy 48. And he's got it. The sure-handed Mike Ditka, a 14-yard gain. And it is 1st and 10 at the 34. Played one of the few coaches that have been on a Super Bowl team as a player with the Dallas Cowboys, won Super Bowl 6. And then as a coach, winning Super Bowl 20. One of the great all-time Super Bowl champions were the Bears of '85. Had the best defense I had ever seen. Kelliger, sweep left, 1st and 10 at the 34, and Peyton again losing yards. And that Chicago defender just made a point wrestling Peyton to the out of bounds. We didn't catch the number on who that was, but he just kept shoving him until he got out of bounds. And I'm sure the Chicago bench took exception to that. So we're going to go, let's see, we're in the double tight end set. We're going to cross them up and go Harlem Hill on a slant on 2nd and 14. Instead, it's to Duel, a gain of 11.
Defense, number 69, 5-yard penalty.
Crumry called for offsides, which is we're going to take the penalty and make it 2nd and 9 instead of 3rd and 3. Always take the downs. Peyton off tackle the left side. And Cincinnati was playing back, but they still stand up Peyton. It'll be 3rd and 9. This will be the 13th play of the drive that has now gone on half a quarter almost at 7:29. Ditka on the slant. If he catches it, it should be enough for the first, and it is. Ditka last week, 5 catches for 72. This week, he has 3 for 35. Luckman continuing to struggle, but he has been a little bit more accurate on his last throws. 9 of 18 were 122. It'll be 1st and 10. Off tackle right, Sayers. As Gale comes in the game, and there he goes. That's a gain of 13. You get a little more octane out of the running game with Gale Sayers in there. 1st and goal at the 7. Off tackle right with number 40, the Kansas Combat. He scores. Touchdown, Bears, a 15-play, 79-yard drive that takes 9:43 off the clock. And your point after is good by Harder. It is 20-14. 2:18 now left to go in the 3rd. And Chicago will kick it deep. And that's a touchback. That was Gould kicking it off, by the way. 1st and 10 for Cincinnati at the 20. That running game paying dividends. And this is going to be Fenner with a 7-yard gain. We have not seen much of Fenner. He has 5 attempts today. He had 4 coming into this game out of the whole season. And he had 6 catches for 42 yards. He has 3 for 18 today. He's out of North Carolina Tar Heels, the same university that, of course, produced Michael Jordan. 2nd and 3 at the 27, and Lawrence Taylor. Over the middle, it's good to Hujmanzada, who caught 7 passes last week against Green Bay for 102 yards. Minute 25 now left in the 3rd. The throw complete to Ross. Ross being a boss today. Against Cincinnati last week, Palmer went 27 of 40, 1 pick, 3 TDs for 324. It's looking like there is time for one more play. Ross today, by the way, 5 for 48, 5 catches, 48 yards. And this is Dylan, and that's going to be the end of quarter number 3. Thanks for dropping by, Al. And your score after 45 minutes of play, it's Cincinnati 20 and Chicago 14. And I'll come back on and tell you that Cincinnati has 40 plays, 254 yards, and 24 of those plays were passes. I'm trying to stay in the camera frame here for you. Chicago, 44 plays, 219, but 26 of their plays have been rushes. Okay, so we're going to play out these last 15 minutes and overtime if we need it. 2nd and 10 at the 48. And here's Palmer looking to throw, and it's picked off. It's going to be Charles Tillman with the pick. No return, but now the Bears in business. Don't throw away that confetti yet. We're going to go off tackle right to Peyton. 1st and 10 from the 45. There's Peyton. He got into the secondary there, a gain of 16 yards on his 16th carry, and he's now at 69. A little confidence out of Sid Luckman as they break the huddle. It's going to be a play action bomb to Hill. 1st and 10 from the 39. There's the throw. No, it's a dump off to Peyton, but Peyton is loose. Past the 10, down to the 5, a gain of 34 yards. Longest catch of the year for Sweetness out of Jackson State, and it is 1st and goal at the 5. How about Peyton on a dive? And Peyton draws a little closer, a 3-yard gain. Casanova making the tackle. 13:06 left to go in the 4th quarter. The Bears trying to take the lead here. We'll go, let's see, I'm going to go off tackle right, Peyton. Keep giving him the ball. And he's in. Touchdown, Chicago. And we have a new game. 20-20. 16th rushing touchdown for Walter Payton. And the extra point try for Harder, all important, and it is good. 21-20 with 12:24 left in the 4th. And Watson back deep for Cincinnati. Gain at the 2-yard line, took it at the 2, returned it to the 25 for a gain of 23. 1st and 10 at the 25. And it's Palmer giving it to Corey Dillon, a fumble, and Chicago's got it. But hang on, folks, a review in progress.
Upon further review, the runner was down by contact.
Yeah, I was thinking that would be too good to be true, and it was. So the challenge overturned. The challenge from the booth overturns the turnover. And it's going to be 2nd and 7 from the 28. Incomplete, deflected by Tillman. 3rd and 7, the ball at the 28. Chicago did not make the playoffs in season 1, but they are poised right now to make it in season 2. Incomplete. It's going to be punting time for Cincinnati. We'll set up for the return. McAfee, a 7-yard return. The punt went 49 yards. 1st and 10 at the 30 for the Bears. A 21-20 lead. I'm sure they would love to get more points. Off tackle right, Peyton. 8 in the box for Cincy. That's a gain of 2 yards. 2nd and 8 at the 32. We got Kelliger. We're going to pitch it to the right with him. Try to confuse the Bengals, and he picks up 4. Nicely done. 3rd and 4. We'll run the short pass to Ditka. Look for 89, but Luckman runs, but only for 2 yards. Needed 2 more. So it's going to be 4th and 2, and they'll put Brown out the punt, which he does. And something happening on the punt itself. It's Chicago getting it. A fumble by Jones. Manning drilled him. Turner got it back, and the Bears now have the ball at the 21. We're just going to stay busy with the running game. Trap left Walter Payton. And Payton stood up at the line by Atkins. Getting down to the nitty-gritty right now, folks. 9:21 to go. We'll go back to Kelliger on the off-tackle right play. And Kelliger motors inside the 10, down to the 6 by Nelson. A gain of 15. His longest rush of the season for Bill Kelliger. Chicago is going to bring 3 running backs in. We're going to bring in Gale Sayers just to give the Bengals something else to think about. We're going to go Sayers' way. 1st and goal from the 6. There goes Sayers. He fumbles. And it's Connor, George Connor with the recovery at the 2-yard line. see him there out of Notre Dame, can also play linebacker. 2nd and goal from the 2, and we're going to run the stretch play with Peyton. Peyton, no, he does not score. No gain. So now it's white knuckle time for the Bears. It is going to be 3rd and goal from the 2. And we'll go back to Peyton on the dive. And Peyton scores this time, no doubt about it. It is a touchdown for Chicago, and that is the 17th touchdown rushing the ball that Peyton has scored. Extra point try is good by Harder, and your score now. Chicago was trailing 20-7 at one point. They have stormed back to take a 28-20 lead. 6:16 left to go in the 4th quarter. We kick it off. It is Watson trying to make it elementary. The return 16 yards to the 14. So reinforcements called for Cincinnati. They got Collinsworth and Pickens coming into the game. They're going to play 4 wide. Collinsworth, the left split end. Hujmanzada in the slot. Green will move over to the slot, and Pickens will be the right split end. 1st and 10 from the 14. Incomplete, looking for Collinsworth. 2nd and 10 from the 14. We're down to 6:02 left in the 4th. And here's Palmer getting ready to put one up. And it is picked off by Gary Fensick. And we have a review coming for this. So it will be an interception for Gary Fensick, number 2 on the season. With 5:45 left, it is 1st and 10 from the 40. And again, we're going to try the bomb, and we're going to try to go to Hill. And Luckman let it go. Hill's got it. Instant karma for the Bears. And we all shine on. 34-20 in favor of Chicago, looking like they'll be the first team to get their ticket punched for the playoffs. And there's your extra point by Harder. 35-20. Chicago leading after they trailed 20-7 a little earlier in the second half. Watson back deep for Cincinnati. That's 4 turnovers in the game, by the way, for Cincinnati, and I didn't think it was that many. Chicago has turned the ball over once. 1st and 10 at the 15. Marker.
Ball start. Offense. Number 65, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
That is Montoya. A 5-yard penalty. It's going to be 1st and 15 from the 10. And Palmer looking to throw, and he has, who did he have there? He had Pickens for a 1st down. A gain of 15 to make it 1st and 10 from the 25. Over the middle to Collinsworth, a gain of 8. 4:54 left. The Bengals need 2 scores. One of them must be a 2. A touchdown with a 2-point conversion, but they need 2 touchdowns and a 2-pointer to tie. 3rd and 2 at the 33. Here's Palmer. That is on the money to Collinsworth. Night Train Lane on the stop, a gain of 8. Palmer on the day is now 22 of 33, 235 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10 at the 41. Time continuing to move against the Bengals, and Palmer's going to put it up. Penalty.
Pass interference, defense. Number 26, automatic, 1st down.
They get McCray for the PI, and it is 1st and 10 now at the Chicago 23-yard line. Palmer dumps it off to Corey Dillon, who makes a house call. That went 23 yards. A very quick and resolute drive for the Bengals. Going 6 plays and 90 yards in just a minute 48. And your extra point is good by Graham. It is 35-27. I'm going to watch for the onside kick here. It's a short kick, and it is taken by Sayers, a return of 6 from the 14 to the 20. We're going to run inside with Sir Walter, and he will gain 6 yards. And we want to use as much clock as we can. 2nd and 4. Trap right to Bill Kelliger. And that is a gain of 3 yards. 2:33. I'm not running another play till the 2-minute warning. So it's a 3rd and a yard. We will go to Peyton. We're going to go off tackle right. And did he get it? He got the first down. And now Cincinnati deploying their timeouts. They will have 2 remaining. Bears have all 3, and they probably won't need to use them. And again, they bring in the full house offense, 3 running backs. We'll go to Gale Sayers here. Has 3 carries of 24, and now he's got 4 of 28 as Cincinnati calls time. And we're going to go read option right to Sayers. And Sayers this time loses 2. So that didn't work out all that well. It is 3rd and 8. I'm going to milk every second off the clock I can. I'm going to call timeout with 1 minute to go. Cincinnati keeping that last timeout in abeyance. We're going to pitch right to Peyton. Don't go out of bounds, Walter. And Peyton will pick up 3, and Cincinnati does call that last timeout. They have 52 seconds left. We've seen crazier things happen in these HTFL games in the final minute. Brown in the punt. And the punt was pretty decent. Jones returned it 9 yards. The punt went 37, so the net will be 28. So this is the situation. Cincinnati, no timeouts, 45 seconds to play, and they have it at their own 37. Then they must score and go for 2. Incomplete. That first throw, Hushmanzada, not there. Palmer had a pretty decent day, 23 of 35, 258, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions and 3 touchdowns. Palmer hanging on to that ball a little bit too long. Pickens was the intended receiver. That is out of his reach. 3rd and 10. Ball to 37. Long throw for Collinsworth, but incomplete. So it's down to this. 4th and 10 from the 37. I'm just going to play 3-1 deep zone prevent. Really don't care if they get the first. They're not going to have a heck of a lot of time. Incomplete. And we have, in season 2, a brand new playoff entrant, the Chicago Bears. Luckman takes a knee, and this one is over. 35-27. The Bears making a remarkable second half comeback to win with 21 in the 4th to finish the deal. Peyton was the MVP. He scored twice, 2-yard runs on each occasion. And the Bears, 358 yards, scored 4 touchdowns on 4 trips to the red zone. Cincinnati was held out of the red zone except for one occasion where they kicked the field goal. And Chicago held the ball 37-40. But they're jubilant at Chicago's Soldier Field as the Bears apparently have made the playoffs. Luckman 11 for 20. They will go to 12-3, and right now the team in 16th place is 7-7. The best they could do is win and go to 8-5. I'm sorry, I take that back. 7-6. So the best they could do is go 7-7. Let's try that again. Take 3. 7-7. So the best they could do is go 8-7. And they could not, even if Chicago lost all the remaining games, they'd be 12-6. Luckman, 11 for 20, 196 yards, was not the better thrower. That was actually Palmer, 23, 38, 258, 2 picks, 3 scores. 85.2. Peyton had the better rushing game of everybody, 25 for 88. We had Dillon and Ross each with 5 catches. But the yardage leader was Green for Cincinnati, 3 for 64. Your leading tackler on defense is probably a Cincinnati Bengal. No, it was Tillman of Chicago with 8. So there you go, folks. That's how this ended. Hello, everybody. You get to see me now. So our next game will be tomorrow. Miami traveling to Dallas. Dallas at 10-4. Miami at 9-5. So they each have work to do to make the playoffs. They would be in if the playoffs were today. Thursday, our game will be Vegas at Denver. Both teams 8 and actually I take that back. Vegas is 8-6. Denver is 9-5. They would both make the playoffs if the playoffs were to start today. Pittsburgh and Baltimore will be our Monday night game on a Friday. So, on behalf of Ella the Cat, this has been Big Pauly wishing you all Godspeed and God bless. We will do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.